Sit back, let's unpack. It's MMA Shack. We have just witnessed a great event at UFC 322. We didn't get Donald Trump. We got Chanko beating up Dylan Dennis, and we got the double champ. Long may he reign. As you see on the screen, you see 8 UFC fighters, and you see 8 empty boxes next to them. We're going to go ahead and predict the fighters that they should be fighting next after UFC 322 event. Let's start off with the main event, Islam Makhachev and JDM. Islam Makhachev put on a clinic against JDM. He immobilized him. This was DDP versus Hamzat 2.0. He completely outclassed JDM. Don't get me wrong, JDM is an amazing fighter. He's got a lot of skill, very young. He's only 29, and he is still in his prime. He's going to be back. He'll be back after Islam retires, and he will become champion. It's all a mental game. It's like Leon Edwards. He has the skills to become champion, but if his mind is not there, he ain't going to become champion. It's all in that mindset. He has to pull himself out of the gutter and get a good win in his next UFC fight, and he could potentially fight for the title. And speaking of JDM, now Islam Makhachev. Now the UFC could do a lot of things with Islam Makhachev. So they could have Ilya fight against Islam at the White House event. We could also have other potentials fighting him as well. So it depends on what the UFC wants to do. Now, for Islam, it's going to be dependent on, honestly, next week's main card. We have Ian Gary fighting Bilal Muhammad, and we also have Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. If Arman beats Dan Hooker, we should be getting Ilya versus Dan Hooker before Islam fights Ilya. That's a no-brainer. We need Arman versus Ilya. We could have that in March main event or April, depending on if their availability and if there's anyone injured on next week's card. And the winner of Ian Gary versus Bilal. Now, if Gary wins or if Bilal wins, there's going to be two different matchups. Okay. If Ian Gary wins, I think he should be Islam's next opponent. He beat Prates. Shavkat should be next, but he had a long layoff, and so he needs to get back in the winning column, back on the eyes of all the UFC audience. So I would say Ian Gary deserves a shot if he beats Bilal Muhammad. Now, if Bilal beats Ian Gary, UFC is not going to give him that shot. No, not a chance. Not a chance in hell. Bilal Muhammad would have to be on another 4-fight win streak to even get a shot again. So Bilal Muhammad, he could fight Kamaru Usman, honestly, if he loses, or he could fight just another potential fighter, maybe Brady or Prates, depending on next week's event. We just have to see how that goes. But if Ian Gary wins, I think that should be Islam's next opponent. Next, Michael Morales versus JDM. We'll do JDM next. He had a great fight not getting finished. He put all his eggs in a basket to not get finished. He tried his best, and he didn't get finished. He took a big mental load on the 5th round. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. It was like Leon Edwards, round 5 of Kamaru Usman before he got that headshot knockout. He just didn't want to be there. He had a long night, and the better man won. Now, I would say that a good matchup for JDM would be another opponent that lost in the UFC 322 night, and that's going to be Sean Brady. They both had a big hit on their stock, and I feel like once they get back in the running, it's going to be a while before both these fighters get back in the octagon. They got to reset, recharge, and I feel like it's going to be like either May, June. They're going to get back in, maybe later, depending on their mental load, and they could potentially put on a clinic, hopefully. And I would say JDM could edge that. I don't, I don't feel like Sean Brady is a strong fighter. He's a great wrestler, but I don't know why he was throwing hands at Michael Morales. He should have just shot right away, dove for the legs, and wrestled. That was his game, and he didn't do his game, and that's what he got. Let's go, Michael Morales. Michael Morales had a great showing, predicted it. He had the hands to back it up. And I feel like a great next step for him would be Kamaru Usman. Now, he doesn't deserve the title shot right away. He was like, I think, number 9 or around there. And he fought the number 2, Brady. And I feel like he should get one more fight before he fights for the belt. A great opposition would be Kamaru Usman. And as of now, it should be Kamaru Usman. Now, if the UFC doesn't fumble it, it should be Bilal versus Kamaru, no matter what, next fight for Bilal. But I feel like they're going to fumble that, or Kamaru's not going to accept that, and he might accept the Morales fight. He's a hype young prospect, and Kamaru has great ground game. I feel like he could get him there, and we can see how that fight goes. Michael Morales' ground game hasn't been totally tested yet. He has good takedown defense. He stuffed one takedown for Brady, so we'll see how that goes. And on to the next. BSD. Now, BSD had a good showing against Dariush. That one punch knockout laid him flat, had dude and Sajda praying Allah. So I would say BSD, he's a fun fighter. He puts on a clinic. And another fun fighter that'll put on a great clinic, Michael Chandler. I feel like Michael Chandler and BSD would be great. It would be a full-on blood match, just bleed. They would just be bleeding, having fun, have the scrap. Chandler, sorry, you're not getting the Conor fight. Conor's not fighting this year or next year. He's not fighting at the White House. Conor is just all talk. Don't waste your time of looking for Conor. Get this fight. BSD's not injured. He's fresh. You could fight him probably February, March. Get that fight. If you feel healthy, you could fight on the White House card. That's enough time. That's 4 months to recover. For the White House card, you might need a little extra since you always just block with your face. So I would say let's hit February. That would be a great fight. Hyped. Everybody will love it. Main card opener. Leon Edwards versus, I would say, Buckley. Sorry, Leon. You had to fight a little down the rankings. Buckley lost against Usman. Leon beat Usman. I feel like this could be a good test for both fighters. See where they're at. See who gets cut next. So we'll see how Leon does. Leon just has to work on his mental game. This is not going to happen until, I would say, late next year. Leon needs to reset. He needs to reevaluate what's going on. He got caught bad with protest. One punch knockout, flat on his back. And I would say that Buckley would be an easier fight than protest, but still a challenge to see a good footing where you are. And I would say this would be a banger of a fight. This also could be a main card opener, if not a feature prelim. But definitely, I feel like it'll be a main card opener, or at least a second fight on the main card. Great fight. You got 2 strong fighters still, but it's just mental game for Leon. If he resets, he could beat Buckley, but Buckley could also get that win over him and get back in the win column. And we move on. Protest. I'm going to say Shavkat. Protest, he had a great match against Leon, knocked him out, but he lost against Ian Garrett. He does not get the title shot next. You can't get the title shot over someone you just lost to. This is going to be another Kobe Covington, Cyril Gahn matchup. We can't have you just known for losing. So protest, get fight with Shavkat. If you beat that 100%, I feel like the winner of Shavkat Protest should get the next title shot over, Gary. If Gary wins, that would be a great fight. Protestant Shavkat, they could put on a big clinic. The Shavkat's not injured anymore. He's been training. Protest didn't take any hits. They could fight in February, get that early fight going, and then the winner could fight Islam maybe July, maybe August. Hopefully, I don't know if they put Islam on the White House card. 100% they should. He called for it, but I don't think they're going to have a Russian Muslim on the White House lawn yelling Allahu Akbar on their lawn. I would love it. I would personally love it, but we'll see how it all plans out. See, Bo Nickel, great knockout, showed his striking, I would say he went for a redemption fight, got it, set it from the UFC, obviously, but he had a good showing, a nice leg kick, head kick knockout, and I feel like it's a good fight for him. They both asked for it, they both want it. They're both still unranked. I'm pretty sure Bo Nickel will not be ranked after this fight still, but Shar the Bullet. Shar got all hands, nothing but hands, no ground game. Even on the ground, he only has hands. Doesn't try to get up, just starts elbowing on the ground. Doesn't care at all. But this will have to be obviously overseas. He has one eye. He ain't getting sanctioned in America. So Bo Nickel, this would be a fun, great fight for the fans. His stock would rise if with this win. Also, Shara Bullet, his stock would rise. Great fight for both. Shara's all hands. Bo Nickel is trying to show that he has hands, but I feel like this is going to be a wrestling, like just full on wrestling on Bo Nickel's side. But Shara just going to be throwing elbows on his back the entire time. Now, for Jonko, okay? He got his win against Dylan Dennis last night in the crowd, okay? Bro put on a clinic, and I think he with the whole UFC 322 buildup, this dude is a star. He's been getting the love from the crowd, nonstop media, nonstop uh, fans going crazy for him. Even press conferences are asking about Jonko, and bro hasn't even fought one fight in the UFC yet. Main card opener, UFC 324, Ancho Jubilee. Put on a clinic against this dude, knock him out. This gives Jubilee a chance to fight someone on Khabib's team. He's been talking about it. He's been wanting it, and we'll see how that goes. We all know how that goes, and it'll be a fun fight, fun for the fans, fun for the fighters, and we'll see a great fight, great opener for the main event. More stardom for these fighters if they win, and we'll see where that goes. That brings a conclusion for these builds up for these next UFC fighters. And thank you for coming along with me on this small little journey. Had a great time breaking it down. See you next time.